Well, it's not such good news. Kenyans should expect more taxes next year as the Kenya Kwanza administration plans to raise an additional 361.8 billion shillings to fund President William Ruto's second full-year budget. Revelations from the just-released budget policy statement shows the national budget 2024-2025 is about to hit a historical high of 4 trillion shillings. NTV's Brian George with the details.
In the draft 2024 budget policy statement released Wednesday, Treasury Cabinet Secretary Professor Njuguna Ndung'u revealed Treasury plans to increase the budget to nearly 4.2 trillion shillings from 3.9 trillion shillings revised estimates for the current fiscal year. This means Kenyan taxpayers are not out of the woods yet on taxation as Treasury seeks to raise an additional 361.8 billion shillings. Professor Ndung'u projects ordinary revenue receipts comprising taxes, levies, rent of buildings, fines and forfeitures will rise to nearly 2.96 trillion shillings from 2.60 trillion shillings for the current fiscal year. The deficit in the budget, which is usually bridged through borrowing, is projected at 703.9 billion shillings for the year starting July 2024, a drop of 13.6% from 814 billion shillings estimates for the current fiscal year. Treasury plans to raise 377.7 billion shillings from the domestic market, while the remainder of 326.2 billion shillings will be borrowed from abroad. Dr. Ruto in October directed ministries and state agencies to cut their budgets by 10%, citing Kenya's tight financial position. He has further warned that corruption and wastage of public funds will not be tolerated. In the proposed expenditure ceilings for the next financial year, the budget for the executive arm of government has been capped at 2.44 trillion shillings, a marginal 1.62% rise from 2.4 trillion shillings originally approved by lawmakers in June. Parliament's budget will increase 2.16% to 41.62 billion shillings, while that of the judiciary will rise by 3.98% to 23.69 billion shillings if the draft BPS is approved by the legislators. Expenditure on priority payments under the Consolidated Fund Services, largely debt servicing costs, have been raised by 36.90% to 1.19 trillion shillings in the draft BPS compared with 869.34 billion shillings originally budgeted for the current fiscal year ending June 2024. The equitable share revenue in the 47 counties is proposed at 401.64 billion shillings for the review fiscal year 2024-2025, an increase of 4.21% over 385.42 billion shillings in the prevailing year. Brian George, NTV, Nairobi.